Hi guys, I'm back and I just had a big week full of vacation, so that was really fun. It also allowed me time to finish the Legacy of Lies and Don't Tell part of the Dark Secrets bind-up. The second book seemed very similar to the first book, which I had a problem with because I couldn't really enjoy the second book as much as it was written to be enjoyed. I gave this two stars on Goodreads. It was just too similar for me to enjoy. So I finished that book, and so I was able to start this book, The Night Circus. And I actually finished this book, and I've kind of have mixed feelings about this book. You'll see why later in the review. But let's just start with the plot, and we'll get on to my opinion later. Okay, this book is about a magical competition between two young illusionists, Marco and Celia. They were both trained by two different, senior illusionists. Celia was trained by her father, Prospero the Enchanter, or otherwise known as Hector Bowen, and Marco was trained by Alexander. And Alexander and Hector, they both have their own different type of magic. Alexander is more traditional, whereas Hector is more new and inventive and just kind of out there. And so Hector and Alexander have had this ongoing competition using different people to put their different magic skills up against one another and to see who comes out better, or the one that survives longer. It's not a physical game, it's more of a competition of endurance. See who can do it the longest, see who can be the strongest, see who can use the magic to their best way, their own ability. In the summary, the book summary on the flap, it talked a lot about Celia and Marco. And yes, they do drive the plot of the story. They create the venue for the competition, which is the Night Circus. That's where the whole book, well, not the whole book, but most of the book is set. They work within the Night Circus, and every little magic spell or manipulation that they do, it affects the people in the circus. Whether it's the fortune teller, the two twins, the proprietor, people who worked on the circus, like the blueprints, and even the patrons, however you say that word. It affects everyone. And so that's why this competition is, the stakes are so high compared to the previous competitions that Hector and Alexander have set up. Okay, so back to Celia and Marco. They do drive the plot of the story. However, I didn't really care for their story that much. It's just them creating new parts to the circus, and then at the very end falling in love, and then seeing how they have to deal with the consequences of doing that while they're in a competition that means only one person can survive. Celia and Marco were not the most interesting characters that I found in this book. Bailey and Poppet and Widget, those three were my favorite characters in this book. I don't know why I liked them so much. I guess it was just kind of an escape from all of the circus stuff. I think it's because Bailey was the most human character that I found in this whole book, and I really liked that. I thought that he was so relatable. Whatever he thought, I think, I was probably going to think that if I were in his shoes. He was really relatable, and that's, I think, why I liked him the most. I think, in total, I gave this book 3 stars on Goodreads. And this is because I wasn't in love with it. It was a good plot, good story, good characters for the most part. I think it was the way it was executed. This is not because Erin Morgenstern is a bad writer. She's a beautiful writer. I love all of her imagery. Her imagery is breathtaking. I felt like I was there the whole time because she described everything so well. When I say so well, I mean so well, that it was almost kind of scary. It was just too much description, I believe. I think that she could have left so many sentences out, and it would have been a much shorter book, and it would have gotten to the point a lot quicker. But, I mean, the description was beautiful, but it wasn't necessary. So I'm kind of, like, being pulled both ways. I just wasn't enthralled. I enjoyed it. There was just something missing. Maybe I just don't click with this book. This book is set back in the late 1800s, and each chapter opens with the date and the town that the circus is in. That's good. I like knowing when and where I am in a book. But the thing is, it's not chronological. One page will have 1894 on it. The next page will have 1901 in it. And so that was very hard, trying to follow your characters that you love, because you have to kind of flip back and see what happened last time. Okay, he went into the circus and he saw this girl. Okay, now what happened? Oh, her name's Poppet. Okay. I hated having to do that. It was such a time waster. It took me a while to read this book. I mean, yeah, sure, it's like almost 400 pages, but it took me a while. But the chapters were all like around the same length. The chapters were very short, which is good in some cases and bad in some cases. And I think she did a good job in knowing what chapters should be long and what chapters should be short. Kind of a Maggie Stiefvater type of knowledge. My favorite parts, like I kind of said earlier, are all with Bailey. All with Bailey. I love how he thinks, how he talks. He is just human. I thought that he was the most believable character, along with Poppet and Widget. I really loved, like, hearing the story about the old magician who told his secrets and then he turned into a tree. I thought that was really kind of interesting. Okay, back to the writing style. Erin Morgenstern is a beautiful writer. I guess we just didn't work. So much imagery. So much imagery. Beautiful imagery. But at times excessive. I guess it was just too pretty, and I got bored with pretty. I wanted there to be this big, gut-crunching, on the edge of my seat finale, and there wasn't. He got there, but the way that she writes just didn't make it seem gut-wrenching. It was like, oh, Marco and Celia, they're gonna be in this form now. It wasn't Marco and Celia, he's gonna be in this form now. It wasn't like that. It was just too pretty. I didn't like it. At times I did like it. I am so confused if I like her writing or not. Thank you for watching. I gave this book, like I said earlier, 3 out of 5 stars. Yeah, just because of what I've already said probably many times. Finished that book, and now I'm on to either one of these books. I haven't decided which one I'm going to start reading yet. The first book up for reading is Out of Sight, Out of Time by Ally Carter. You know how much I love her. This is the 5th book in the Gallagher Girls series. I have yet to read it, and I kind of forgot the 4th book, so I need to think about if I want to read the 4th book again and then read that one, or just read that one and hope I get it. The next book that I could possibly be reading in the very near future is The Countess Below Stairs by Eva Ibbotson. This one's about the Russian Revolution, something like that. Hoping that will be a quick read. That was from my cousin, so I hope that I can get it back to her really quickly. We'll see. Okay, so thank you for watching. I guess it's a week now between my videos, so I have a new video up every week. Don't hold me to that. We'll see. Please subscribe, comment, thumbs up, and thumbs up. Okay, Bye!